Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys a story. By the way, this is Crystal BH10. If you want me to come and tell your fairy, please like, comment, and subscribe. Now I'm gonna tell you guys a story about going into foster care. Now, I was about 12 years old, okay, when this all happened. I was getting black eyes and all this other stuff. So, it was on Valentine's Day, and I remember it. We rode our bikes to the school, and we locked our bikes, and we were giving out our Valentines. You know, just the normal, oh, happy Valentine's, be mine, you know, the kitty Valentine's stuff. So I was giving those out. And then on the intercom, I heard, "Crystal, can you please come to the office?" So I went straight to the office, and there was an officer. He escorted us, the principal escorted us to a conference room. Okay. So now we're in this conference room, and I see my sister. And my sister's, you know my sister. You do, but you don't. So, she was like my protector, whatever, plus my bully, whatever. And we were in this conference room, and just the officer talked to us, told us what was going to happen. He said something along the lines as, "We're going to take you guys into a temporary housing until we can get this whole situation taken care of. And then we'll decide from there what's going to happen." So the officer said, after that said, "Go get your stuff from your classroom." So I remember running back and getting my stuff. I had my helmet attached to my backpack, so my helmet went with me, but my bike didn't. We went to the police station. My gosh, memories are coming back, but so if I start crying, I'm okay. This is pretty hard, okay? So we go to the police station, and we tell them what's been happening at the house, blah, blah, blah. They must have known that I had a black eye. Because I remember them being more worried about my eye than my ankle. And I told them straight up, my ankle had been like that at one point, and I don't know if it's okay or not, and I want it to get checked. No one checked that. So my ankle was flattened, and there was some, I don't know if there's any damage anymore, but it's weak as can be anymore. Not enough where I'm wheelchair bound or whatever. I'm not that bad. I mean, it'll just go weak sometimes, and I just have to get an ankle brace. So then we go to this. So this officer takes us to this house. It's not our house. It's another house. And no, we're not being abducted. This is CPS, okay? I'm going to straight up say it's CPS, or the farm, or whatever you want to call it in your state. It's called different things. And I was terrified. I think the next day I woke up and I could not see. Reason being is both my eyes were so swollen, so black, that all I could see was the ground. So I'm in this new house with these new people who I don't know. So I don't know if I can trust them. And the only person I can trust is my sister. Like I said, this is a hard video right now. I didn't realize it was going to be this difficult to do it. But I remember being so terrified. Like, I was scared something else, I wasn't sure what's going to happen, okay? And then, like a week later, we go into a foster home. That house that we were at is called a respite home. Now we're in a foster home. In the foster home, that is like your parent for 3 months, and then you move. Now, the reason why I'm telling you guys this, okay, and then, actually, let me back up and continue the story. So, we moved from that foster home to another foster home, which would eventually be my adopted parents. Well, like a year or so later, my sister ends up going crazy. She leaves me. So now, I'm without my birth family. These guys are different, and I'm without my sister. So I have no blood relatives around me at this point. So I'm like scared and having to build up a humongous wall. Like, it's hard. And then, so I end up having to keep myself as sane as possible and everything else. Now, the reason why I told you this story is in light of what's going on in our border. Okay? I know if you're a criminal, you lose your kids. But the way I see it, your kids should go to a family member, and if there isn't a possibility of that, then go into like a foster home. But, so in light of the illegal immigrants coming in, they are putting these kids into cages, and they're not even having as much room as Rose is getting in her kennel at all. And Rose has plenty of room for her. And she's only in there temporarily, like maybe an hour if I'm not at home. And these kids are terrified because they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know if they're coming into America. They don't know if they're going to be deported. They don't know if they're going, after they get deported, if they're going to be abused or anything. I'm getting chill bumps. So these kids are terrified because they're coming into a safe haven, but yet they're blocked off. Now, don't get me wrong, I believe that everyone should do everything legally. So if you decide to come to America, do it the legal way. Get a green card, or I don't know all the cards, because again, I'm not an immigrant. I was born in America. I assure you that. My birth certificate tells you that. It actually tells you that I was born in Texas. So, like I said, this is in light of what's happening at the border. It's so terrifying. I mean, if a kid that's being beaten and is put into a home where they don't know anybody, they don't know who to trust, and they're terrified. Imagine these little kids going into these cages, holding cells, and they're terrified. I mean, again, I will tell you, I am not an immigrant. I was born and raised in America. Like, all 25 years of me being alive, I was in America. So, I sort of feel for these guys because that's gotta be hard. So, yeah, I do believe that if you are trying to come in illegally, yeah, you should get deported, but I think if you have kids, those kids should get deported with you, and then they should just say, you need to go through the legal routes. Because I don't know if you guys know that Social Security is getting screwed too right now. Because we are having so many people retiring because of the baby boomers. You have baby boomers retiring, and we have people living longer because of medicine. So we're going to, I think by the end of this year, maybe in a couple of years, we're going to start getting into the reserves of Social Security. And that is for like emergency use only, to help those. And then you got all these others that's got some sort of disability too, that are already on Social Security. So no wonder why it's hard to get on Social Security. But now we're getting these immigrants coming in that are illegal. And they should go back, but encouraged to go through the legal route and make it easier. Because obviously they're trying to run from like a poor, controlled country, and they don't know what to do. So yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe if you really want to, and always remember you can do what you set your mind to, okay? Bye!